Next, I want to talk to you about collecting and paying sales tax. New Jersey dealers must register with the New Jersey Division of Taxation. So dealers are required to collect, report, and remit sales tax on all taxable sales of motor vehicles, parts, and services. Dealers must pay tax on automobiles purchased for lease for more than 28 days at the time of the lease is signed based on either the purchase price or the lease option payment. Dealers must stamp their certificate of ownership with a New Jersey sales tax satisfied stamp for every sale, regardless of whether or not the sales is taxable in good faith as well. So you have to properly complete any New Jersey exemption certificates if sales tax was not collected. This might sound complicated, but it's going to be automated by your dealer management software, but I do want you to be aware. I'm going to try and make it as easy as possible, okay? So let's talk real quick about sales tax and also income tax, because I talk about a lot of different types of taxes in your New Jersey dealer course. You're going to pay income tax on your income. You pay income tax on your income. You are going to charge the customer sales tax when you sell a vehicle, okay? So you charge the customer sales tax, but you're going to pay income tax on your profits, okay? So what's subject to sales tax? New Jersey residents, persons that have what's called an abode in New Jersey, or a business purchaser with a business in New Jersey, or a person using a vehicle for a business in New Jersey. Now, if you have let's say, for example, you have somebody come up from Kentucky and they saw a vehicle that you have for sale on autotrader.com and they want to buy it, that specific vehicle, you're not going to charge that person any sales tax. However, if they live in Kentucky, but they're buying a vehicle for their business in New Jersey, then we would charge them sales tax. Or if they have their vacation home in New Jersey and they're here, then you definitely want to charge that. So once again, you're going to charge sales tax to New Jersey residents or residents that have an abode in the state of New Jersey, or a person using a vehicle for a business in New Jersey as well. Here's some exemptions from sales tax, okay? You're not going to charge sales tax to other licensed dealers. Remember, they don't pay sales tax when they buy a vehicle to resell. A non-resident with no place of abode in the state, or a person recognized as a foreign diplomat by the United States of America, a purchaser who claims the vehicle will be used in an exempt manner, such as like a limousine company or something like that, or an exempt organization with a valid exempt organization certificate called your ST-5. I want to talk about that for a second. You can sell a vehicle to a not-for-profit, and they don't have to pay sales tax, but they're going to have to show you their Form ST-5. Now, this might be in a scenario where you're selling a van to a church or something like that, but I do want you to be aware, you could have somebody that comes in and says, well, hey, listen, I'm tax exempt. My name's Joe Bob, and I'm tax exempt. Well, if Joe Bob can't show you Form ST-5, then you want to go ahead and charge Joe Bob sales tax if he's a New Jersey resident. Make sure if they are an exempt organization that they can show you their Form ST-5 like you see right here, okay? Now, you must complete all 8 pages with an exempt organization. So it is pretty extensive when you are completing this specific form to a tax-exempt organization, okay? So now this form is called your ST-10. And this is the form that you're going to complete when you're selling a vehicle to an out-of-state resident. So please keep that in mind as well. And a good software program will print all these forms up for you automatically. You don't even have to keep a list of them. You're going to need to obtain a New Jersey sales tax satisfied stamp. And this is a stamp that's used to indicate that the sales tax have been paid. So a dealer must stamp the certificate of ownership, that's your title for used cars, with a sales tax stamp that I want to show you right now, okay? This is what your sales tax stamp is going to look like. So it is mandatory that you have one of these. So even before you get your license, you might want to go ahead and order one of these because there are some companies that will actually help you get your sales tax stamp. So you can order your mandatory sales tax stamp at nysalestaxstamps.com, and here you see right there. So remember, it is mandatory for every dealer to possess this stamp, and I do recommend ordering it as soon as possible, even before you have your license, so you will have it when you are granted your New Jersey dealer license. So you'll need to stamp that on every single title when the customer has paid the sales tax. Now, I want to talk to you about a trade-in allowance. A trade-in allowance is subtracted from the purchase price of a vehicle before taxes are applied, okay? The buyer is only going to pay the difference on the sales tax between the purchase price and the trade-in allowance, okay? A trade-in allowance can lower the buyer's taxable income, and a trade-in allowance can save the buyer hundreds or thousands of dollars on sales tax when someone's trading a vehicle into you as a licensed New Jersey motor vehicle dealer. A motor vehicle, let's talk about a trade-in allowance. A motor vehicle can be traded for a motor vehicle, and a motorcycle can be traded for a motor vehicle, but items such as snowmobiles, all-terrain vehicles, lawn tractors cannot be used for trade-in for motor vehicles because they're not motor vehicles. So please do keep that very important information in mind. I want to go over this to make it as easy as possible. So let's just say, for example, you sell a car for $5,000. The taxable value is $5,000. There was no trade-in on that transaction. So when you haven't taken a trade-in, you're going to charge sales tax on the entire amount. Now let's make it a little bit harder and let's throw in a trade-in. Let's say you're selling a $5,000 car and you took a $2,000 trade-in. So it's very simple. You're going to take $5,000 minus $2,000 will equal a taxable value of $3,000. So you're only charging sales tax on the $3,000. Now let's add a warranty and some add-on equipment here, okay? Because let's say you're selling a vehicle for $5,000 and you're also selling a $200 warranty, and maybe you've added $200 in additional equipment, like a new muffler system or something like that. So what we're going to do then, we're going to take the purchase price and we're going to add the warranty and any additional equipment to that price, and that becomes the entire taxable value. So you'll add warranty and additional equipment and delivery fees and things like that onto the actual taxable value. Please keep that in mind. Now, we'll talk about documentary fees here in just a little while. If you're adding a documentary fee, you'll charge sales tax on that as well. So let's just say you're selling a $5,000 car and you charge the customer a $200 documentary fee, then the taxable value would be $5,200, as you see right here. A dealer management software program will automatically complete all your sales tax and all your required tax transaction documents as well. So please do keep that in mind. Next, I do want to talk about the documentary fees that I discussed just a moment ago. The state of New Jersey does allow a dealer to charge what's called a documentary fee. Now, the majority of your profits will always be the markup of the vehicle. So the markup of the vehicle is where you go buy that vehicle as low as you can at the dealer auction. You're going to mark it up as high as you can and resell it to your customer on your lot or in your office. And that's the markup of the vehicle. So normally the markup of the vehicle is going to be the very largest portion of your profits, but the state of New Jersey does allow a dealer to charge a documentary service fee to prepare title and registration paperwork as part of the process of selling a motor vehicle to a retail customer. Documentary fees are not required by the state of New Jersey, unlike motor vehicle commission fees for the actual title and registration, which are required by the state. Remember, documentary fees are considered expenses of the dealer or services necessary to complete the sale, both of which should be included in the sales price. So, the state of New Jersey does not set a maximum documentary fee. If you are going to charge a documentary fee, then you should charge the same documentary fee to every retail customer. You may not waive the documentary fee. So what I mean by this, I've read cases where we've had dealers would charge one customer a documentary fee and the next customer a documentary fee, and the third customer says they're not going to pay it. So the dealer waives the documentary fee for the third customer. And if you think about that scenario, that dealer charged the previous customers additional fees, which gave them legal recourse because they were charged additional fees. So what I'm getting at here, if you're going to charge a documentary fee, you want to set one documentary fee and charge the same documentary fee to every single customer. If you got a customer, pounding his hand on the table saying he's not going to pay no documentary fees, well, he is, you can lower the price of the vehicle to where it equals the same. So if you are charging a documentary fee, you want to set one fee, charge that exact same documentary fee to every single customer. Don't change it, don't waive it. And remember, you can never tell the customer that that fee is required, like motor vehicle commission fees, like title registration and things like that. So, let's just say, for example, you're charging a $199 documentary fee and you sold 10 cars in a month. I mean, you're adding almost $2,000 to your revenue. So it really can add up. And I believe that you're probably getting this business getting into this business to make as much money as you possibly can. And if you are charging a documentary fee, that can certainly add to your profits, but you want to make sure and you get it in writing on the bill of sale. So it has to be in writing. So do please keep that in mind. And that can definitely increase your profits. When you're a New Jersey dealer, you should definitely consider charging documentary service fees.